Hello and welcome back to the Linux Panic YouTube channel. We are now in part 3 of our Linux from Scratch SystemD edition. We're using Linux from Scratch version 11.3. Where we had left off, we had just finished compiling the cross toolchain, and now it comes time to cross-compile cross-compiling the temporary tools. So let's get into getting that sorted out. Now this section just says the chapter shows you how to cross-compile the basic utilities. It's just do what we've done before. The whole chapter must be done as LFS user, and as we can see here, we are the LFS user. So what we want to do is just rinse and repeat everything we've already bloody done, and then just carry on, I guess. So let's get into the rinse and repeat. So M4 is the first one. So we want to first off have a sip of the coffee, and we want to do tar -xvf M4 cd M4, and we want to get the configuration options. We need to get the configuration options. This is why it's worth making sure what you're copying is correct. Get the configuration options, put them in, because as you may have noticed, we missed the end regular bracket, not the brace or square bracket. So now we just need to wait for that to finish. I'm just moving this back because OBS is showing that I am peaking, and I'd much rather not do hello. Much rather not do that. So sorry for your ears. I'm going to regret listening back to that now. So I did it to myself as much as I did it to you, sorry. But, of course, it's just the usual time make J6, not 76. Imagine if you had 76 cores just to compile M4. Holy hell, that would just go... Oh, well, I would go fast, so well, it'd go faster than that. But there we are. It should have taken 25 seconds. We did it in 9. So, that is very nice. Again, install it, leave the directory, remove the directory, M4, yes, clear, move on to the next one. So in this case, N curses, again, it's a 0.3, so shouldn't take too long at all. So make sure there's nothing wrong with my mouse, tar-xvf, it is N curses, 6.4, yep. Grab that, so we want to cd into libn curses. N curses, even not libn curses, two different things. Do that, and now run the following commands to build the tick program host. Again, just quick copy, let that do its thing. Grab the configuration. The configuration might take a while because of the amount of options there. Now, again, it just depends on how long it could take because there's a lot of configuration options. And then it's just the usual, once you've done the configuration, tell it to make, tell it to install, over and over. Now, again, this very much does depend on your system and your hardware capabilities. As previously mentioned, this virtual machine, which is running on Virt Manager, so this is as close to bare metal as I can get it, is 6 cores, and 8 GB of RAM running, and the 6 cores are running at 4.0 GHz. So this is what you'd expect from a mid to high range machine. You like bumping up between the two because I'm running an 8-core CPU. Again, it's from 2 generations ago because it's a Ryzen 5. It's a 2400G, so I have to remember that for a second. So this is 2400G, so it's an older CPU. So now that we have done that, we wish to again do the configuration options. Then again, it just depends on the process for this, how long it could take. So this should now be just about done. So again, very much depends on your hardware capabilities. If I were to run this on my server, it would go even faster, because if I could just say have access to it all, and the server would go, yes sir, and just fly straight through. Anyway, now that we've done with the end cursors, we're done with the configuration. We just want to do time, make J6. I might actually just try and do this on my server just to see like how fast it could actually go. The issue is I need to get an in-between capture, because I'm not doing this without a capture card, because trying to record a VGA monitor with this wouldn't exactly be too well now, would it? Probably not. So again, it should have taken 1 minute and 13 seconds. It took 20, nearly 20 flat, which would have been very nice. Now that we have made, we just need to install it. So make the destination directory LFS tick path. Just the usual you'd expect. That's now going to install, do the things it needs to do, and we will now move on to the bash script, or the born again shell. Now again, it's only small, shouldn't take too long at all, hopefully. As you can see here, there's still an option here, so you just hit yes, let it do its thing, carry on. It's always worth just a few times after a long command just to make sure everything executed correctly and that you don't run into any mistakes. So leave the directory, remove the directory, and now we want to tar-xvf and bash. And now we want to grab the configuration options, seed into bash, bash not ash. Whilst that runs, it's just make sure we have everything here. So it's just make the destination and make a link for the programs that use sh for a shell. So any file that has .sh as a file as its extension will then get picked up and say, hey look, go to here. Just make sure everything runs fine. That's basically what it does. So again, it's just waiting for this, as we can see here. That is now done. So that's done, and we just want to do time, make J6, let that fly through. You are seeing that climb up the screen, and you're also seeing this. Yeah, that is because it is using 100% of the 6 out of the 8 cores it's got. So it's having a moment. It's going, I don't know. Again, this is why this is also a upside of doing that, because instead of it taking 1 minute 14 seconds, it only took 17, which is very nice. So copy that to install it. Make a link for the programs that use the sh as a shell. So again, any .sh file then gets linked through to that. Leave the directory, remove the directory, remove bash, and core utils. Yes, yes. As we can see, Y was not found, which was expected. As we can see here, it's core utils. Yep, basic utility programs. 3 standard build units, 162 megabytes. It's nothing. tar-xvf. Core utils. .tar.xz. The reason why that didn't work when I hit tab is because it expected to see the .patch. So this is one of those bits of software that has a patch file, which then gets applied later on. So copy the compilation instructions. The reason why that didn't work is because we didn't cd into core utils. So let's try again. Core utils, apply that, and come here. So as we can see here, it's just make it, install it, and move programs to the final expected location, although it's not necessary. It's just worth doing it anyway, just as the bits of software are expecting these bits. Other bits of software are expecting core utils bits of software to be in their existing places. Just put them there anyway, just to save any hassle, because you're going to run something and it's just going to go, I don't know, there's a core util missing. And you're going to go, what do you mean there's a core util missing? I did everything. You didn't. I forgot to move the final bits in place. And this is one of those scenarios where it might actually take longer to sort out the configuration options. So we've just done the config, so it is time to make. So time make minus J6. Again, should fly through. It'll tell us how long it took. No bother. No bothers at all. So just simple fact of copying the install place, wait for this to finish, and then move onwards to the final step of core utils. So it is worth just scrolling through. There are some packages that have very long manual pages and some that just straight off. With the Linux kernel headers, with them make Mr. Proper, that 2 bits and that's it. As we can see here, it could have taken just shy of 2 minutes, but it didn't. It took 30 seconds. So this is why it's worth just saying use your extra cores. Now that we have done that, we just move the bits of software into the expected places. And now that that's done, clear cd rm-r, remove core utils directory. Yes. This is one of those that has a lot of write protected files. I'm going to scream. There we go. Jesus Christ. Why in Satan's hairy ass did that take as long? I don't know. Now we move on to diffutils. See, it's worth just a bit scrolling, but it's easy to tell because you've got the footer there, so no bother. So, tar-xvf diffutils. Have a look at spell. Grab the config. Cd into diffutils. Run the config. Copy the install package because we don't need to copy the make, because again, for the make it's just time make -j6. Be a problem, get it through. Again, this is one of those scenarios where it might actually take longer to do the configuration than it might to compile the software. So, swings and roundabouts. There we go. So time make j6. Fly through, couple of seconds at most because it's only a 0.2 standard build unit. It's nothing. See, it took longer to actually do the configuration than it did to compile it. So, setting the compiler can take a little while for some, so it's fine, it's expected. Now that we've done diffutils, we move on to file. So in this case, it is just this with a 0.1. So cd out, remove diffutils, and thank God that wasn't there. So tar-xvf file, cd into file, and we want to file command is the build host. That is the same version. It's just setting up everything as it's needed. Again, it's just adding on before the compilation, so it's worth just giving a little scroll just to make 100% sure. Again, this is also one of those scenarios where it could actually take longer to do that than the actual compilation. Now that we've done that, grab the configuration command, whack that in, and then compile the package. Again, just let it do, again, seconds, maybe a minute at most, just depends on the file. It just depends on what's being compiled, so just make sure once, yep, I'll go through. I'm an idiot, so this may take a little bit longer because you may have noticed I've just went copy, enter. I didn't give it the time, nor the -j4, but again, seconds because it's 0.1. It's nothing. Yeah, it's 0.1. It's a nothing. Took nothing at all. Copy this. Whack the install into the thing. Warning has not been installed in user lib. And yeah, that's fine. And then remove the libtool archive as it is harmful for cross compilation. Remove. Leave the directory. Remove the directory. You know the drill by now. If you don't know the drill by now, can't say I blame you. You might be new to this, so you never know. And then again, it's find utils, so it contains basically just searching. That's all that find utils is. So tar-xvf find utils, cd into find utils. Now you could do and cd at the same time, but because the folder isn't created, you then have to remove the tar.exe because otherwise you can't CD into a archive. That's the error it'll chuck it. Even though on Linux, literally everything is a file. Your folder is a file. Everything is a file on Linux. No matter what, your shared object, it's a file. Your shell script is a file. Your folder is a file. Your file is a file. Everything is a file on Linux. So that's why most things can just be easily accessed and told, hey, work. And most of the times I go, hells yeah, I'll work. I know what I'm doing, I'll work. And sometimes it doesn't. So again, copy the install. So we want to do time make J4, J6 even. The reason why I keep saying J4 is because last time I did Linux from scratch, I assigned 4 cores. So I'm just used to saying minus J4 because I did 4 cores a lot. Then again, even with only 5 cores assigned, 10 seconds instead of 28, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Wait for it to install. Leave the directory, remove the directory, you know the drill by now. Find utils. Gawk. So, tar-xvf gawk. CD into gawk. Sure, you just do the do. Make sure some files are not installed. Prepare the compilation. Copy the install packages. As we can just see, if we just do up, we can see how far along we are. We're about halfway down, so again, shouldn't take too much longer. Things we're already on Gawk. We're on Gawk, and the ones that might take the longest are bin utils and GCC. So it's just worth a little bit of crying. So again, just time make J6, not J7. It'll fly through. Don't worry, the camera just had a refresh moment. That's what that was. It's fine. But this will just fly on through. Gotta wait for it to do its thing. No bother. Again, 12 instead of 45 seconds. Don't mind if I do, mate. Don't mind if I do. Copy the install. We're just on the make, so it's just the install. Let it go through. Remove the directory. Leave the directory. Remove the directory. Remove Gawk. In this case, we want grep. So tar-xvf grep. CD grep. Get the configuration. Again, this is one of those scenarios where the configuration might actually take longer than the compilation, because if we give it all of the cores, it might just go woo through. So again, it's one of those scenarios which is going to take longer and longer and longer and longer and longer than the actual compilation. Again, your hardware may vary, so it's just the variance of your scenario. But again, we've done that, so we've done the configuration. Time make J6. That'll fly through, probably about 15-20 seconds at most. Maybe that. As we can just see, it's just done. It took longer to do the configuration. Even the actual compilation at 1 core would have taken less time than the actual, configuration setup. So again, leave the directory, remove the directory, clear the screen. We want gzip now, small one again. So tar-xvf gzip, cd gzip, get the configuration, pop that in, copy the install. Again, it's just wait for me, please. Thank you. It's just, there we go. Configuration, time make J6, boom, flight it straight through, and done. Yep. Again, compilation taking longer than the actual configuration, configuration taking longer than the compilation. Leave the directory, remove the directory. Yes, 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 yes. as we can see here, we now on to make. See, less than one standard build unit. What's the betting this takes less than 5 seconds? Probably would. So, tar-xvf make. Yep. CD make. Fix an issue identified upstream. Copy that. Prepare make for compilation. Prepare the make tool for making. How I don't know how this makes something that's then makes something. How this makes itself is beyond me, because how did we come up with the first bit of software that makes another bit of software when there was no software to make the software? Does this start to make sense now? Somebody made software that makes software without a bit of software to make it. So it probably was made in something like assembly or something. Like the absolute crackhead that made Roller Coaster Tycoon in assembly. Good on him. Very good game. Anyway, need to stop sidetracking here. So it's now config.guest. That was done. So again, if we just go, hey look, make J4. I check 6. So time make J6. Probably less than about 5 seconds. What did I say? 3 seconds at most. Install the package. So install. Leave the directory. Remove the directory. Move on to patch. So again, small one. No bother at all. So tar-xvf patch. CD patch. Drop in the configuration options. Copy the install package and wait for the patch. Contains. So it's basically just patching software. So hey look, there's a patch to this software. So just saying, it's basically just differential. So hey look, contains a program for modifying and creating files by applying a patch, typically created by the difference program, or the differential program. Anyway, configuration's done. Time make J6. Type. There we go. Again, probably 10 seconds, if that. 4. I was hedging my bets on, do I say 5 seconds? Well, I could have said 5 seconds and it still would have been done faster than that. So we've done the make, install, no bother at all, leave the directory, remove the directory. We now want sed. So tar-xvf sed, cd sed. Chuck the compilation, add it, fly straight through. No bother at all. Should just fly straight through, no bother. I said it should just fly straight through without any bother, please. Okay, thanks. Not there. There we go. Gee, heavens above. Jesus, Mary, Mother, and Joseph. Holy hell. Right, okay, so time, make J6. Now we're sucking diesel. Again, seconds. Literally seconds. Again, I wouldn't have won that one if I hedged my bets on 5 seconds. Oh well. Right, leave the directory. Remove the directory. Yes. As we can see, we did run that, just make 100% sure. Clear. Now we want tar. We want to tar the tar program. See, it's one of these ones that everyone knows, and we go, how do this work? How? Please thank. So tar-xvf tar cd tar. It still feels weird doing that. I wish to tar the tar file out of the tar ball. Nothing's weird here. You're the one making it weird. It is all weird. We all know that. Like, why does it feel weird to just tar the tar file out of the tar ball? I don't know. So again, just time make J6, fly straight through. Would probably take, again, it's probably one of these ones that's going to take longer, way longer than the compilation instructions. And just give it a couple seconds. There we go. Yep, it's one of these ones that would take longer than the actual compilation. Jesus Christ. So, leave the directory. Remove the directory. Again, it feels weird doing that. Tar. Now, onto XZ. So, tar hyphen xvf xz. Ooh. Didn't mean to do that. And then cd xz. Again, prepare this compilation. It's one of these that's going to take a literal age to do it. We need to make sure we're installing it. Now we're coming up to packages that will take longer because they are under bin utils. It's always going to take a little bit of extra time, and it's on its second pass anyway, so just wear the pumping of the brakes there. Now that we've done that, we're just time make J6. You'd think I could type this by now. Evidently not. However, it's still done. Even with my mistakes, it was faster. Remove the libtool archive because it's yeah. Trust the book. The book knows what it's doing. It would help if I installed it into the correct place before removing. There we go. You didn't see that. So rm -r, remove the leave the directory, remove the directory. And we now move on to bin utils. This may take a little while longer because it's the second pass. But then again, as we can see, nothing at all. So tar-xvf bin utils. Make 1% sure it is. Run it through. It ships an bin utils ships an outdated copy of the libtool in the tarball. It lacks the root support, so produced binaries will be linked to binaries from the host distro. Work around the issue by issuing that. So cd bin utils. Issue the issuing for the issue. Enter the build directory. That is recommended by the developers of bin utils. Copy the compilation instructions in. Time make J6. Install the package. Do the thing. Get it fucking done. You hear? Get it fucking done. No bother. Again, I say get it fucking done. We're still here. You right there, mate? You're doing alright down there. You're struggling a little bit. Do you happen to think you could go any faster? You'll go faster if you're hanging out of a window. Because computers smell fear. And computers run scared. This is why computers deserve the right to self-defense. Because if they couldn't defend themselves, they get put through torture like this. And just general torture. So computers deserve the right to defend themselves. Again, we're just waiting for the library objects to be done. Could take a while, it could take not long at all. So we just have to sit and wait, I guess. Now, when it comes to multiple passes like this, some of them do need to be done, like mentioned. We did bin utils pass 1 the first time around. This is pass 2 second time around. If I remember correctly, we have GCC also coming up as well. We do. Also, they do come up later on in, I believe it's chapter 7. That's the chapter 7 or 8. It's just the one that has all of the software. That is a pain in the ass. Yeah, it's just or just compile everything that you haven't already compiled, and maybe recompile some of them again. But this is why it's important to run your software and compilations with the make flag, because would you want to be sat around for 6 minutes 6 seconds when you can get it done in 1:54? I think not. Why would you want that extra time? You don't. This is why it's worth running it. Anyway, install the software and remove the one file that we don't need. Remove the files we don't need, evidently. rm-r bin utils. Yes. Clear. tar-xvf gcc. And then cd gcc. See, I accidentally pressed enter instead of backspace, so now we're going to get an error telling us we can't go into GCC because it's an archive. As we can see, not a directory, because it's an archive. So, cd gcc. As in the first build, just move GMP, MPFR, and MPC to the correct places once they have, of course, been extracted. If building on a 64-bit change to, just change that to lib. Override the building rule of libgcc and lib standard C++ header. Yeah, just making it POSIX compliant. Before starting to build GCC, remember to unset any environmental variables that override the default optimization. So this is saying, hey, look, maybe you want to run it with one core instead of however many you want to chuck at it. So this is one of these ones that will take a long time. So we will return after we have finished the compilation of GCC. Now that we have finished this, it really did take me 50 minutes because I chose to follow the advice. Should always follow the advice, even if it takes that long. Anyway, now that we have done the making, it is now time for us to install the entirety of that in the correct place. Hopefully it doesn't take 50 minutes. However, you may never know. You may never know how long it'll take. I will be suitably annoyed. No, it didn't, but thank God it didn't. Anyway, we need to remove that. And that is us done for the video. Yes, it genuinely did take that long to do. So, I would like to thank you very much for watching. In the next section, we will be coming up to Chapter 7, entering the tuber environment, and then doing the various things we need to do. So, I'd like to thank you very much for watching. If you like the video, hit the like button. If you dislike the video, hit the dislike button. Maybe consider subscribing. Anyway, I have been Nick. You have been amazing. And I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. And goodbye.